Good evening, everybody, and welcome to SAFC Fan TV. And myself, Sean Middleton, Conrad Lee, and Michael Bowers have just witnessed the game. Sunderland and Hull finished 1-1. Just doing a quick review. As you can probably tell, I can't get any words out. I'm just deflated. Lads, it was I wouldn't say it was a terrible performance. More a case of it's 3 draws in a row, and it we're 10th in the table. That's what's depressing me at the moment. Conrad, it's like soul destroying. I mean, I think to see it was a must-win. Yeah, you probably could say it was a must-win if you want to finish in the top. I think my aspirations now to finish in the top 2 are gone. I think it would take something really spectacular now for us to get in the top 2. I mean, we're going to have to bring 3 or 4 players that would make a difference. But Conrad, it's another result where it's just deflating. And I just Saturday night round again. Thanks, Sunderland.
Yeah, exactly. Cheers, Michael. Yeah, it's just that thing. It's just disappointing. Again, it was just that thing of in the second half we were the better team, and if anyone was going to win it, I think we were going to. And it's the annoying thing of again in the last few games where we could have won this game, just like Northampton, just like Wimbledon, even just like Wigan. Really, I know we ended up losing that one, but it's just games where we could win that we don't turn anything into 3 points anymore. So I know I was sitting there saying it's not the end of the world to draw 1-1 with Hull, of course, because they're not extending their lead over you. And if we win our game in hand, we go 4th. But I don't trust us winning anything at the moment. Just we seem to have lost the ability to win a football match, and it's just disappointing.
I mean, Lee Johnson, you do feel sorry for him a little bit. He's come in at a bit of a bad time, you could see it. And the takeover it's still good. Like with the EFL checks, we've been linked with that Winchester, the midfielder, Michael. I'm just hoping that he's decent. I mean, I've heard some good stories about him. Surely he's got to come straight into the team, and it's a case of now getting players who can come in and do a job, and not be some players who can come for the bench. We need players who can make a difference. That's what we need right now, 3 or 4 to make a difference. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, like we said, first of all, thanks to everyone who stuck with us on the on the live chat, even though probably by default the Terry's went off by the sound of it. Yeah, which was quite amusing. But in all seriousness, drawn with 1-1 with Hull, like Conrad said, I'm not as deflated by the result this week as I was last week, and I still maintain, I think Conrad said it on the chat, on the live stream as well, that had we won last week, today wouldn't feel quite as bad.
Yeah.
Obviously, for any, even though I've said at the start of the season I didn't think we'd get top 2. That's what the aim should have been, but I didn't think we would get it. I didn't think we would get it throughout the course of the season, but I did think if you wanted any hope of the top 2 in a realistic sense, obviously there's a lot of games left to play, but realistically, I think we had to beat Hull to have a chance of the top 2. Obviously, on some level, you haven't let them get an advantage. You haven't let their gap go to 11. Then it really would have been a massive long shot. Not that it isn't already, of course. But hopefully, like you said, with the signings, Winchester, hopefully, is someone who's a bit more forward thinking in midfield, who can actually spot a pass. I don't know. It is a bit deflating, but I suppose I'm not going to make this as an excuse because to me it shouldn't be. But, we are probably starting to find our feet again after the COVID break. But then again, so will Hull. Hull had a break as well. Peterborough had a break. And I watched them against Lincoln. I'll tell you what, first half, you couldn't tell. I don't know if you might have watched the whole game. But, I mean, I didn't see much of the second half. But first half, Peterborough didn't look like they had a COVID break. Now, maybe they did. Maybe they put all their energy into the first half and dropped off in the second. I don't know.
Is this another example, Conrad, of our team we're desperate for somebody who can a spark, somebody in the middle who can push us forward, get the ball to the striker. Like Charlie White, he was invisible today. I thought Scowen was power. Power went to right back, but I just think our midfield, it's really, really poor. And I mean, if your midfield's poor, you're not getting the ball to the strikers, then how's your strikers going to score goals? We just need our midfield's really, really poor, isn't it, Conrad? Really poor.
Yeah. That neither of them will bail out the other at this point on here. They both seem to be that sort of one that won't deal with the other. So we have a completely ineffective central midfield. that just doesn't seem to do anything to link forward, at least anyway. And then Charlie Wyke's not the type to, I don't want to say drop deep because that's not it, but he doesn't seem to link well with them either. So then we've got like 4 players in our team that all don't seem to work together. And we always seem to think that the midfield is worse because Charlie White's proved he can score. Like I know he's got 7 and 7 isn't exactly like setting the world on fire, but the chances that he's had this season where we've actually gotten the ball, so Hume against Portsmouth down the side, McFadzean's cross, the Chris Maguire getting in behind at Lincoln and putting it back for him on there. He can link with them and he knows where the goal is. It's just we make nothing for him and he makes nothing with them either. That's where it seems to go.
He doesn't connect people around him.
Yeah, he doesn't connect to them and the midfield connects to nobody.
A couple of factors, lads, as well. I'm going to bring this up. I'll get your views on that, on the two of the individual errors. First of all, Michael, I'll let you speak on this. Individual errors is costing us big time. And also, are we missing Denver Hume and Luke O'Neill?
I would argue we are. Certainly on Denver Hume and Luke O'Neill, I would argue we are. I think Denver Hume, obviously, look, on elements, defensively, he's got a bit of work to do, and his crossing does need quite a bit of work. But I like Denver Hume. I think he's one of our better players. Luke O'Neill, likewise. Yeah, is he technically great? No. But I do think he's definitely very solid and dependable at right back. Even if you put him in the midfield, who knows? If Conor McLaughlin continues to play how he has done this season, I'd knock him. So, but as for the first question, yeah, let's make no mistake. We gifted Hull their goal. It was basically it wasn't even bad defending. It was just really bad mistake. And making it too easy. I think it was Reece Burke who scored, but I might be wrong on that.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, so whoever made it far too easy, it basically gave Burke the opportunity to score. Now, who's to say if that mistake hadn't happened, would we have then gone on to equalise? So it works in both ways. But yeah, individual errors, it's just,
it's costing us big time, isn't it?
Cut them out. We need to cut them out. Simple as that.
Conrad, what's your feelings on there? Obviously, the individual errors throughout the season, it's cost us in games, and also, do you think we miss O'Neill and Denver Hume?
I mean, me and Michael were talking about this on Thursday night. I still see O'Neill as our number one right back. I know people want to play him through the middle, and I wouldn't be against trying it with the 3 that we have in the middle because I don't see them doing anything. But when you've got someone who's that good at right back where I don't need to worry about anything, do you know what I mean? Like no point whenever Luke O'Neill was put a right back to, I go, that's a worry. At no point do I do that. But yeah, Michael was saying McLaughlin, he's good, but he doesn't stop crosses, or he's good, but he doesn't do this bit. Like McFadzean and Denver Hume, I think McFadzean's he's fine defensively, but he doesn't offer that same like drive that Hume has. Like I know Hume's sometimes crosses were a bit suspect. He'd put like 10 in a game and he'd only hit but he'd only hit someone from across maybe once out of 10. And that was something that he needed to work on. But again, at least we had an outlet down the left and we had like an absolute dependable right back who did overlap anyway on the right-hand side. And yeah, we're missing that. I think we're missing Willis still. I think Bailey Wright is not the same player that we had.
He's not. Yeah, he's not.
Like the sort of bit where we got him last season on there. And I don't know if that's because he's better in the middle of a 3 or if he is missing Willis, because both of those two things, he had Willis next to him in that 3. And now he doesn't have Willis next to him in this. So, and I just think Willis is a better defender. Probably the best defender we have, really. I would say if Bailey Wright on his day, I suppose. But it's now looking to me like Bailey Wright's day is either in that system or with Willis anyway.
Michael, obviously, I'll get you both your points on this, but on another poor result, 3 draws. Is there anything you can take out of the game positively in going to Tuesday against Hawthorne in the Football League Trophy, and obviously, more importantly, the game next Saturday against Wimbledon away? Any positives you can take?
The character from going 1-0 down to be level within 10 minutes was something that was definitely there. There was more, as much as I probably am going to contradict a lot of things I've said on the show. I do think the intent was there going forward. I just think the decision making was awful. There was at least an intent there, and I think we made Hull look quite average. I think we made, if people are going to go, we're actually one team based on that display, so Hull, because I've watched 2 Hull games recently, which was tonight, obviously, well, tonight, last week, you're watching this, against us, and when they lost to Portsmouth. And I don't think they look good on, I don't think they look particularly convincing on occasion, which then makes it, I'm turning this into a negative here, which then makes it more frustrating that we're not going on a half decent, if you went on a half decent run, you probably finish in the top two.
Absolutely, yeah.
And because the league is, people can go, oh, but Sunderland have got worse. Why? But so's the league. The league has got worse. The league
Hull were there for the taking for me tonight.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, I'm not as disappointed. I mean, I'm still disappointed. I would have liked to have won the game, but especially at home, I'm not as disappointed as I was last week. As last week, I was that was the big reason I didn't go on the Sunday bunch, because I hadn't had a great day on Sunday anyway, and I just couldn't find the motivation to talk about a 0-0 draw at Northampton. But this game, there's at least some talking points. One thing I will take as a positive, I suppose, is that Lee Johnson was actually proactive in trying to win the game. Whereas if that was Parkinson, he would be sitting back until the 81st minute to make his first change. Now, I'm not saying obviously he makes changes for the sake of changes, but at least he's willing to try and go for the win. So
Danny Graham was a change for the sake of a change. There's no difference Conrad, in him or Wyke.
Last words with you, Conrad, tonight. Last words with you. Is there any positives you can take out of that game going into the Football League trophy on Tuesday, and obviously more importantly, the game next Saturday against AFC Wimbledon? Any positives?
No fresh injuries, I think, apart from maybe Burge with his eye, I guess. But Matthews might have played in the game anyway. I'm trying to think of who else.
On Tuesday anyway, probably, wasn't he? So
yeah. Well then, to be honest, I know you're going to roll your eyes here. I thought Power did all right at right back second half to be put in a position where he isn't supposed to play. He stopped crosses coming in. He put balls out that didn't get behind him, and he overlapped down the right side. But he did right back better than he does his actual position as his central midfield. I'm not saying he was not a worldie. He's not in but like he was solid enough there. Like, so if we're short of cover on Tuesday night, I'd have no problem putting him out there and maybe giving Embleton a go through the middle. But maybe apart from Burge, I don't know. I'm sort of stuck. I'm sort of teetering right along the middle of like, I don't want to be too disappointed, but I also don't want to be like, no, it's actually all right. We're fine. Do you know what I mean?
No, it's just.
Here's a positive. We closed the gap to the playoffs, I guess.
Well, we win our game in hand and we're fourth. That's the thing that just keeps going around. Like the positive thing going. You win that game and you're fourth. Like,
yeah, go on, Sean. What's your thoughts?
I just can't be. I can't see anything positive about it anymore. I'm just like. I don't know.
It's because we have to win that game, and if we can't even win this game, what makes you think we're going to win that one? That's the
best thing is, well, I'll say best thing. I suppose it again. I said it on the live show and I've said it on my own channel that it just puts pressure on games coming up. Like I said, you've got Wimbledon, Plymouth, Shrewsbury, Ipswich, and Gillingham. I suppose one positive, and it's kind of not a positive on Sunderland's behalf, is that nobody around us won. Which of the teams who played, Lincoln, Peterborough, cancelled draw. And I didn't expect Ipswich lost at home to Swindon, which I didn't expect. Even as topsy-turvy as the league is, I think Swindon's been the worst team I've watched us play against, or at least one of them. So to see for them to go to Ipswich, and a big result for them. But I just think we need to show a bit more in the games coming up. If we can just show a bit more decisiveness in the final third, then we can do it. We beat Lincoln 4-0. We can. What's the word I'm looking for? It's not necessarily those games that have cost Sunderland this season. For me, again, it's Bristol Rovers, Rochdale, MK Dons, Burton, Wigan, Northampton. Wimbledon, I'll let slide a little bit because of the circumstances, but the rest of them are those are the games where I'm more disappointed with than this one.
This season's been a case of, again, all ifs and buts and maybes.
Exactly.
I think it's just starting to sink in my mind now that we could be in this league another season. I mean, maybe give Lee Johnson the baton in the summer. Give him, and have the salary cap's another situation we need to deal with. But, bring his players in, get rid of all that crap, because we have got crap at this club at the minute who's overpaid retards who are not putting their shift in and who are not willing to die for the shirt. So maybe it needs a good clear out in the summer. maybe it needs a good clear out in the summer. But anyway, that just wraps it up for tonight. And the Sunderland one, Hull City 1 review by myself, Sean Middleton, Michael Bowers and Conrad Lee. Don't forget to join us tomorrow night on the Sunday Bunch and also on Tuesday for the Football League Trophy, the game against Portfield. So for now, stay safe Make sure you wash your hands and stay strong. Bye for now.